6. Chance. Now that I was pregnant, I had to survive no matter what. For my baby and for my triplet alphas. I had no idea which of the triplets was precisely the father. But was that even possible to figure out? Identical triplets had the same DNA. It didn't really matter. They would all be the father. I sighed. My head was throbbing. I wish Alex were here to massage my scalp. I got up from the tiled floor and a horrifying thought hit me. What did the kidnappers want in terms of my pregnancy? They had gotten me the test. Did they hope I was or wasn't pregnant, or did they not care? If they found out I was pregnant, would they be easier or harder on me? I hadn't thought this through. I threw the pregnancy test in the toilet after snapping it in half. I flushed it. Thankfully, it went down. Dante came into the bathroom without even knocking. "Hey," I said indignantly, not able to fake nonchalant anymore now that I was worried for my baby. He looked impassive. He stared at me. "Are you or aren't you?" "What?" I asked. "Pregnant," asked Dante. "Does it make a difference?" I asked, trying to gauge his reaction. "This isn't a game," snapped Dante. "A game? A game? I'm the one who's kidnapped. I'm the one who's sick and vomiting. Why would I ever think it was a game?" I yelled, not able to play it cool anymore. Dante sneered. "Are you pregnant, yes or no?" I fixed him with a glare. "When my alphas get here, they're gonna rip you in half," I said softly. Dante glared back. He left the room and slammed the door. I breathed a sigh of relief for the time being. "Chastity's grandfather?" asked Felix, narrowing his eyes. The man named Chance nodded. Felix, Alex, and Calix looked at him incredulously. "So where have you been all these years?" asked Alex, glaring at Chance. Who would leave their granddaughter up to Chance for so many years? "I've been here," said Chance, gesturing all around the room. "Running the Lucky Toad Casino," he said grandly, his arms wide and outstretched. "He's insane," said Alex over mind link to his brothers. "That's why he didn't come to look for Chastity, even though he was nearby." Calix and Felix looked at the eldest alpha and nodded. "I'm not insane, Alex," said Chance slowly with a wide smile. The triplets recoiled a little. "Was that a coincidence?" "It's probably just a coincidence," said Calix. His elder brother nodded. "No, it's not." "I can hear you loud and clear," said Chance. The triplets were flabbergasted. "How is that possible?" demanded Felix. "The witchcraft?" offered Alex. "From the group you belong to?" Chance nodded. The Farina Ornata allows each of its members to tap into special skills. My special skill is being able to listen to any mind link within a certain radius. I can't explicitly read minds, but I can sense the truth and a lie with perfect accuracy. And I can listen in on private mind links, said Chance, smiling. "Okay, congrats. Back to Chastity," grumbled Felix. "You're her grandfather how? Whose dad are you? Her mom's or her dad's?" "I'm Chalice's father. Chalice was Chastity's mom," said Chance sadly. "Was?" asked Alex. "So you know for sure Chastity's parents are no longer with us?" Chance sighed. "My daughter Chalice had her demons. She wasn't perfect. The Order of the Farina Ornata was trying to help her. The Order helps people with a variety of things, including addictions. She was never able to successfully detox. She kept falling back by the wayside. Her mate, Chastity's dad, had better luck detoxing with our order, but Chalice's relapses were his relapses, since they usually did everything together. Mates can be our saving grace, or our kryptonite, you know," said Chance sadly. "Okay, we already know her parents were drug addicts," said Felix impatiently. "Felix," whispered Alex fiercely, nudging his younger brother. Chance chuckled. "You're passionate about my granddaughter. I'm glad," said Chance. "This doesn't add up. Where have you been, Chance? Chastity's childhood sucked, and I'm sure you knew that if you knew her parents were drug addicts. Didn't you wonder where Chastity was when her parents skipped town?" Calix questioned. Chance sighed. "When my daughter ran off, leaving Chastity, I followed her. I was trying to track her down and bring her back. I tailed them for a while, said Chance. And? Asked Felix. Chance looked away from the triplets sadly. And, unfortunately, when I finally caught up to them, they were... Chance paused to take a deep, shuddering breath. Please, I know it's hard, but please tell us, Chance. It's not too late for Chastity, even if it was too late for her mother, said Alex, gently pleading with the older werewolf. Chance nodded, collecting himself. His eyes were filled with tears. He took a deep breath. Calix patted him on the shoulder. I found them, finally. I caught up to them in a motel miles and miles from here. I remember it so vividly because it was Christmas morning. You know that song, Chance said, his eyes glazing over. Walking in a Winter Wonderland by Dean Martin. It's an old Christmas song. Beautiful. Chalice's favorite. It's so funny. The synchronicity, said the older werewolf, chuckling sadly. He was motioning everything he did with his hands, and his hands were trembling. I was listening to that song on the radio, Walking in a Winter Wonderland, as I switched off the car and took the key out of the ignition. But the song never stopped, exclaimed Chance. What? The triplets were confused. Chance laughed humorlessly. The song was still playing on the same radio station, but somewhere upstairs in the motel. Chalice, listening to the same Christmas song as her dad on the same day at the same time on the same radio station, exclaimed Chance, tears beginning to fall down his cheeks. That's wonderful, said Calix sincerely, trying to encourage the werewolf. So you followed the music? Right you are, Calix, right you are, said Chance. Chance could tell them apart. The triplets were impressed. I followed the faint music. It grew steadily louder. There was an echo to it. The Marigold Motel, not the hotel. The seedy motel. I went up the rickety side steps, found one of the doors to the rooms left open. The music was coming from there. I walked in. The place was small and reasonably clean, nothing spectacular. Minimal Christmas decorations. I followed the Christmas carol to the radio. I turned it off. I shouldn't have turned it off. The music has been off ever since. When I turned a corner, Chalice and her mate were sitting, staring at the table in the kitchenette. Eyes wide. Just staring. There were fang marks on their necks, Chance said, lost in the story and shaking. Vampires? Asked Felix worriedly. Snake bites. Farina ornata, the venomous moon snake. The order has special snakes that are 1,000 times more venomous than usual, said Chance. So it was the order. It is something to do with that tattoo, exclaimed Alex. No, not quite, said Chance. The triplets were confused. We give snake bites on purpose. The venom makes us stronger when administered correctly and under supervision. That's how I got my powers. They were seeking help to get stronger, to fight whoever was chasing them, Chance explained. But, prompted Felix. Chance gulped and wiped the sweat on his brow with a handkerchief. But the Farina Ornata member who had come to administer the snake venom was dead on the ground too, with a bite mark on their neck. Someone had come upon them and interfered with the ritual. The person or people they were running from interrupted the venom ritual so they couldn't take the antidote and finish it. They died with venom flooding their systems unchecked. The antidote is usually kept in a metal briefcase with our symbol on it. I found the briefcase on the floor open and the antidote missing. Someone took the antidote and ran off. We usually bring many vials of antidote. The person took all, about half a dozen, and left. Our people. The administrator of the venom. Our member, she was dead on the ground near the empty briefcase with the snake still crawling about. Chance finished his story in hushed tones. The air was heavy. So Chalice and her mate were trying to get strong enough to fight back whoever was threatening them. Ironically, in the middle of a ritual to get stronger, that someone accosted them, took the antidote, leaving them to die, poisoned with venom but without the life-saving antidote. The person left the snake behind, and even the antidote administrator was killed. More questions. The triplets sighed. However, they had one big answer for their lovely little Luna, Chastity. Her parents really were dead. So, what did you do after that, Chance? Said Calyx gently. I called the police. They came with an ambulance. I sat there and looked at Chalice, staring at me sightlessly. She looked peaceful, hopeful, perhaps about the ritual. She herself had undertaken it successfully once before. We all did, numerous times. The ambulance people couldn't revive them. They were pronounced dead, and so was the administrator, the people who were chasing them. I had no idea still who they were or where they went. I buried my own daughter and her mate with my own money. I even included the administrator in the funeral. It was a quiet little funeral in Marigold, mumbled Chance. Why didn't you tell anyone? Spat Felix, furious, his eyes darkening. Chance looked shocked. Who was the administrator? Asked Alex. The administrator was Deirdre Binks, Chalice's friend and fellow Order member who used the venom treatments for her skin and whatnot, like a beauty regime. She wanted to be a model, said Chance. Chills crept through the triplets. Deirdre Binks isn't dead. She is a model. Was. She's a retired supermodel. She's in LA, still schmoozing, and again, why didn't you tell anyone? Chastity, our parents. You left her in the dark, Felix said. Chance stared at him, dumbfounded. The real Deirdre Binks is dead. I know that with a certainty. I don't know who that woman that models and has her name and looks like her is. She's not Deirdre Binks. I was never able to catch her and talk to her. She eluded me for years and I grew tired. I don't think she actually killed anyone. Just benefited from the death of Deirdre. Took her spot in the modeling agency. Doppelgangers? I really don't know. It's creepy, but my focus was on Chalice. I buried her and I didn't tell your parents. Alpha Romeo and Luna Ronnie. I begged them to bring her to the funeral. I spoke with them on the phone. They hung up. They ignored my letters. I used to show up at the pack house after I got back from Marigold. They got a restraining order against me. Look, it's there, said Chance, pointing at the wall. The triplets looked. It was there. Framed. Chance had framed his restraining order. Chance chuckled. Your asshole parents. I sent toys and letters and things. Tried to get to see Chastity. They kept returning them. They threatened me. Told me to stay away from Chastity. The Luna blamed me and my daughter for her stepbrother's death. I ran my casino and figured when Chastity turned 18, she'd do her own digging and come back to me. I became depressed, honestly. This room, it's filled with stuff they returned. Stuff for Chastity, said Chance, tears in his eyes. The triplets took a second glance at the room. Alex felt his heart constrict. Many of the knickknacks that he'd mistaken for ornaments were figurines and little dolls. There were teddy bears amidst the clutter, jewelry, clothes even. There were perfumes and antiques that would suit a girl's room. The papers on the floor and on the desk were scribbled haphazardly, but he could make out many instances. Dear Chastity, and I'm sorry, and see you soon, and Merry Christmas, and Happy Birthday, and Grandpa loves you. Calyx had not realized he was crying until he felt the wetness on his cheeks. Felix sat in one of the sticky chairs, breathing deeply. Alex remained standing up, more determined than ever. The eldest Alpha would confront his parents about this atrocity, get the two sides to the story, but until then, he wanted an ally in Chance, his grandfather-in-law to be. Chance, I am so sorry for everything. I had no idea, said Alex. Chance just nodded feebly. The gambling debt story? Was that all bullshit? Did Chastity's parents even owe money? Probably not. The casino was a family business. But I need you, Chance. We need you. Chastity needs you, said Alex. Chance sat up a little straighter, adjusting his too small blazer. Your ability to tell when people are lying, your mind-linking reading, those are amazing. Danny needs you. That's our private investigator. Team up with him with us, please, for chastity, said Alex.
Dear user, now you are reaching VIP chapter for next one. Please open the app to unlock single or multiple VIP chapters. Thanks.